Hello, everyone. This is Erin, and Kennie is here with us very briefly because I'm going to let her tell her story very briefly because Kennie has COVID. And I think we know that from the last episode, Kennie was getting COVID, the fever. She was waiting for the test results from the first test.
Yeah.
And she and I have been corresponding since then. And she's been talking to me about the loss of smell and the loss of taste and just the whole list of symptoms. And I can tell you guys right now, Kennie's one of the healthiest people that I know. She has no underlying conditions. Kennie was a soccer player in college, very physically fit. And so all the propaganda that you're hearing about healthy people don't get it and healthy people don't suffer, it's bullshit. Okay. Kennie's sitting right here today, and she's going to try to not cough through her telling you that she's sick. Okay. Kennie, you have the stage.
It is not bullshit. COVID is real. So the last time I saw everybody, I was telling you guys that I was exposed, had symptoms, and was expecting not to get to spend Christmas with my husband, who I share my house with. And that's legitimately what happened. So I was exposed on the 15th of December, got tested on the 18th, and my results came back on the 20th, positive for COVID. And symptoms I made, because I'm ridiculous, so I could keep track. I made on my mask, I put what symptoms I had each day. So like I could keep track of what was happening to me. So it included like sneezing, coughing. I lost my sense of smell, but had a sense of taste. And then I lost my sense of taste. And then congestion, running nose. For me, the biggest symptom was body ache. And when I tell you like a level of body ache, it's not like when you get the flu where you can't move and you want to lay down because you're tired and achy. For me, the body ache was like a joint pain that I've never ever experienced in my life. And like a nerve pain, like where you feel like your nerves are on fire. A friend of mine asked me if it was like fibromyalgia, and I've never experienced that kind of nerve pain. But in my mind, I was like, I can never tell somebody that what they're experiencing isn't real, because it is very much real to me. So COVID saps the strength out of you. Taking my dog for a walk around the block is excruciating, but I know I have to keep moving. Laying on your tummy, I'm grateful I don't have a big bust, because I can't sleep any other way, because when I lay on my back, it feels like I'm going to drown to death and die. And I got on the call with Erin late today because I couldn't stop coughing. It has been a challenging time. Grateful that I'm alive and I have this level of health. I feel better. I know I don't sound better, but I do feel better overall. The emotional toll of having this has been fairly greater than I thought it would be, in that if you're practicing social distance within your household, and your partner is in your home and they want to care for you, but you can't permit them to because you don't want to get them sick. So that was probably one of the biggest challenges of my experience, is that my husband's down the hall, but we didn't see each other, but maybe for like 5 minutes on Christmas Day, where he left the door open once he dropped my food off. at the door and we talked for a few minutes. That's been pretty difficult to live in a house that you can't see somebody, isolation, and you can't communicate because you can't even catch your breath to tell somebody what's wrong. But yeah, in 2021, it's not as though like the switch of the clock just makes everything magical, but I am hopeful, to be well. And if you can, keep your distance from people, wear a mask, don't go out unless you have to. And if you have accessibility, follow what the doctors ask you to do. They don't make this shit up. This hasn't been fun for anybody. If you don't need to go out, don't go out. And if you do, please wear a mask. But in the upcoming weeks, I know that Erin and I have some really great shows for everybody, whether it's on the podcast or on YouTube. We're excited. But I just wanted, in the new year, Erin posted on YouTube her journaling, what she's going to be doing for this upcoming year. And I wanted to just let everybody know I'm alive. I'm alive. Erin won't have to do this by herself. I am here. I am alive. So I just wanted to check in and let everybody know what's going on with me.
Thank you, Kenny, so much. And yeah, I mean, of course, we're going to be in touch because, you're somebody that I give a damn about. So, and this just reiterates, for me that this is serious. This can have an impact on everybody, friends, family members, and in the way that you've described it. Like you and your husband didn't even get to spend Christmas together and you live in the same household and you're a healthy person. And, and you're somebody who believes in science and you've been wearing your masks and all of that. And it was, somebody's else being irresponsible about things, that caused this. And I'm going to point out, and I know that that I picked up on it, the passive aggressiveness that you couldn't help writing your symptoms down on a mask. I think that would just be awesome. Like to wear your mask out in public, like just exchange the masks out and wear them with symptoms on there, showing, hey, this is what happens when you get COVID. I thought that was pretty brilliant. Like, hey, I'm writing my symptoms down on my masks.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, only Kenny would do something. No, you wouldn't just do it. I totally would do it. And you know that I would do that. So, but yeah, I'm so glad that you're okay.
I'm here. I'm on the mend. I can't wait to tell you that I'm okay. I feel better, right? But I'm not healthy. A half a mile still wins me, which is ridiculous. So I'm looking forward to the day where I'm not experiencing that level of discomfort, which is pathetic but exciting. I just wanted to jump on and say hello to everybody and welcome to 2021.
Thank you, Kenny. Now you get off the call and go to sleep and rest, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Thanks, Erin.
All right, bye. Okay, so we have seen Kenny, and we thought that it was important for everybody to see that it's real. You guys have gotten to know her, and you saw it from the very, very beginning when she said, hey, I've been exposed to it. I'm waiting for my test results. And you got to see for yourselves that it's for real. And so it's frustrating for us to still see that people are not taking this very seriously, walking around without masks. And then we've got, leaders in the government who are undermining the authority of the mayors who are trying their hardest to contain this. At this late stage of this pandemic, we've got people who are celebrating the fact that they've undermined the authority of the mayors who are trying to just, close things down briefly just so that we can get some containment over that. So, Kenny is somebody that I care about very deeply. And, she's a friend and a colleague. And to see her going through this, and she's not the only person, but I want it for you guys. She wanted for you guys. She wanted to share this with you guys so that you could see that it's real. And Will has just jumped on the call. Hi, Will. How are you?
Hey, sorry about that. Been doing some house renovations and I was covered in paint, so I had to clean up real fast.
No, that's okay. Actually, Kenny got to come on for a few minutes and talk about her experience. And so we thought it was great for her to share that so that people can see this is freaking real.
Yeah.
Okay. She talked about some of the symptoms, and she said she got on the call late because she couldn't stop coughing. So it was okay. This was all timed pretty well. And next week hopefully we'll all be healthy. So yeah, this was okay. Moving forward, into the next year, and I've got my little notes here. I always cheat and have notes. What Will and I did is we looked at, and Kenny did also, long before this, we were thinking about what the viewers were interested in. We looked at the videos that got the most views, and the ones where people were making comments and not necessarily making comments on YouTube or on the podcast, but people that are making comments like in the sessions or sending us emails. And then these were the topics that popped up: the goal setting episode, the trending from traditional relationships, dating ones, the psilocybin episode, toys for clitoral stimulation, cock rings, adult things to do during quarantine. Dirty talk actually got more than anything. So I find that interesting that people are wanting to learn how to do dirty talk. So we are going to have lots of episodes about dirty talk. The no fap movement, the one on Ask Me Sex Questions. And I think that one was more about Will and I and Kenny. We're going to have to answer questions that people have, like sex related stuff, and for sex coaching, anything that's under the sexual health umbrella. People usually have questions about that, and we'll be able to answer those questions and send you in the right direction. And then things that are related to BDSM and consent and all of that. So, and we're going to continue the podcast as well, because there are a lot of people who listen to podcasts, like when they're driving to work or whatever. And so, of course, you're not going to be able to watch. Hopefully, you're not watching YouTube while you're on the road.
I said, we hope not. Please don't watch that and drive.
Yes, please don't do that. Please don't. It's very flattering that you want to see us, but please don't be doing that while you're on the road. We're also considering doing some other interactive things like the YouTube Live, because that's a feature that we have, having more guests and posting things that we already have in place. Like we've got some PowerPoints that we already have, a lot of different topics, and we will be able to narrate and actually have the PowerPoints on the screen and talk about the different topics that we have. We can do some demonstrations, like show you all how some of the products work. Like if we do an episode about lubricants, we'll be able to show you the different types of lubricants: the water-based, the silicone, the coconut oil. Talk to you about how the differences between them, and show you some of the different brands. And the same thing with a lot of the devices. Show you what they look like. Show you the difference between, like what is a dildo versus what is a vibrator. We want for this to be very informal and real, because we're real people, and we want for it to be educational also, because we are sex education professionals and mental health professionals. We don't want for it to be judgmental in any way, but again, we want for it to be very realistic. We know that viewers are not going to always agree with us on things, but my philosophy is it's always been I like to say what people need to hear, not what people want to hear. And I will be as sensitive as I can be. I'm not on here to collect a lot of likes. I'm here to disseminate accurate information, and that's under the sexual health and mental health umbrella. We also want to provide useful resources. We're not here to gain, you know, uh, promotional or financial benefit or anything like that. We're going to do our own reviews. And, if we hear about a product or if we're using a product, we want to be able to disseminate that information to the public. And so it's not about us gaining anything from, any monetary gain. If that happens in the future sometime, that's great. But right now, we want to be able to provide service to the community. So, Will, do you have anything to add to that?
I love the different topics and the feedback we're getting from everybody. I think that's some really good goals that we can have going forward. And yes, same here. It's like my goal in doing, the videos and what I put on my YouTube channel as well. It's always about education and just making sure people get accurate information out there and having fun too while we're doing it. So that's always a bonus.
So, today we don't really have a topic per se. We just wanted to take a look at everything and let everybody know that we're acknowledging what you're interested in. We're taking note of it and doing our own research so that we can make it fun, make it interactive, and like I said, disseminate information that is up to date as far as the research is concerned. We want to learn from our mistakes. And this is new. This is all new for us as well. And so it's going to take comments from you guys for us to make this better.
So, Erin, do you have any 2021 goals or resolutions here for the podcast or for the videos for your YouTube channel or anything? Any goals you want to set or have set for yourself?
I know that I'm going to be doing a lot of projects and work on my like the sexual health, the sex therapy residency that I'm doing. So, and I'm doing a lot of work. I'm working with an emotional intelligence and body language expert, and his name is Dr. Jack Brown. And so I know that I will be doing some projects associated with that. I will be, the work that we're doing right now, I'm learning how to read, body language, in relationships and body language in the dating situation and the nonverbal communication that exists in BDSM, all of that. He and I are coming up with ways that nonverbal communication definitely has an impact in sexuality. And we don't usually think about that, but it's definitely relevant. And so I will be sharing a lot of that as we move forward this year. And what about you, Will?
I know I have some personal projects I'm working on. There's a book I'm working on right now. I have a couple different projects. So I'm hoping to maybe get one of those finished by the end of the year. This is going to be an interesting year for me too, because we're moving. So we're in the midst of all of that right now. So it's been doing the sex coaching and the education stuff interesting. Thankfully, I was already remote, so it hasn't really interfered with that. But I'm going to be getting like a whole new, adding to my network and stuff and my clientele when I'm going back to Georgia. I've already been working on communicating with some other sex educators, some other sex coaches in Georgia, so I can kind of grow my network out there. And so I'm excited about that. I'm really curious to see where this is going to lead me this year.
Okay. And so that means that this gives us an opportunity to help each other. Because between Georgia and Texas, this gives us an opportunity to work more as in a partnership and as colleagues. So I think this is great. This is, and using I'm not going to, this sounds terrible, but taking advantage of the fact that because we're in a pandemic right now, we do have to do a lot of work, or almost all of our work, virtually. So we'll do as much as we can, before we're able to start seeing people in person.
Yep.
Yeah, I've had people surprisingly ask me to schedule sessions in person, and at first I thought people were joking, but now I realize that people are serious. They want to be seen in person.
Oh my goodness. It's like, it's like, people stay at home.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine that. Yes, I'm a sex therapist. However, it's all hands on deck as for the mental health professionals. I'm also a mental health professional. And so I'm seeing way more people under the mental health professional umbrella than I ever have in my career. It is not surprising for me to see between 30 and 40 people a week under the mental health umbrella, because we are where we are today, because of the pandemic, because of all of the stuff that's been happening in 2020. People are struggling and suffering, and there's the people, it's traumatic for people, and there's grief and loss, and people are tired of all of this, and it's over and over and over again. People will go through the trauma and then the grief and the loss, and then they're tired, they get complacent, and they're tired of it, and we just keep, the cycle just continues on and on and on. And I'm tired of it too. Okay, as a human being, I'm sick of this shit too. All right, I don't want to wear a mask. I've already told you, that's traumatic for me as well. So I just really wish people would think of others, think of these essential workers who don't earn very much money. So, this isn't just about our freedoms and liberties. This is about, we're in a public health crisis right now. We have to think of our fellow man and fellow woman and fellow person right now. And the sooner we do that, the sooner we have empathy for others, the sooner we'll get out of this. The longer we think in another direction, the longer it's going to take for us to get out of this, and the longer it's going to take for Will and I and Kennie to be able to see you in person. Because right now, we don't fit in any place where we're going to be getting the vaccine anytime soon. The medical professionals are able to get the vaccine, but we don't fit anywhere to get the vaccine. So I don't know if anybody's thought about that.
I highly doubt it. And, a lot of people, unfortunately, they need help, and, they're looking for you and us to help them. But, they're like you were saying, they're wanting to meet in person. They're not wanting to socially distance, wear masks and stuff. And it just makes us difficult to help people. We're trying to keep you safe too.
Yeah. And I don't know if people think about the fact that when we are, because there's so much confidentiality involved in what we do, we're talking about not just mental health issues, but sexual health issues. And it just requires so much privacy. It would be very difficult to see people in person right now. And we would both be sitting there in a mask. And, as a mental health professional, I wouldn't be able to do my job and be reading your body language, if you're sitting there wearing a mask. I already have trouble enough working with people doing phone sessions, or working with people doing the chat sessions. And so if I'm with you in person, I want to be able to do my job to the best of my ability. And I don't want for the session to be about the fact that we're both sitting there in PPE.
Right, exactly. It definitely would detract from being able to work together.
Yes. And I don't know about you, Will, but I have yet to have anyone say, you know what, I really want to see you in person so bad that I will pay you this many hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, no, haven't had that happen.
Right. Right. And I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think anybody likes me that much where they want to, they're going to pay me hundreds of dollars to meet in person. And I don't like anyone that much to where I want to see them in person and risk their health or risk mine. I think one of the YouTube live, one of the topics would be good about the psilocybin. I think that one would be really, really good for the YouTube live, and the dirty talk. I think that one would be really, really good for the YouTube live. And any other one that people can think of, the more the merrier. We would like for people to participate. And if you guys can, if you think that you're an expert in something or you have a lot to say about something, just shoot us an email. Go on our site or look up our email address and let us know that you want to participate in some of these. You can be on camera, off camera, and participate in some of these conversations if you believe that you have something useful to say to the public. We will be more than glad to have you as a guest.
Yes, always having more guests is always great for the lives too, like live Q&As and stuff. I know people love that kind of interactivity where they can ask questions live. So essentially, we're always open to topics for people to email us, reach out for things they want to learn more about.
Well, Will, I don't have anything else for this particular episode. I just wanted to let everybody know how we're going to be moving forward going into the new year. You said you're moving and I'm moving also, and I posted a little video, trying to get rid of some of the stuff that's in my house. So because I'm downsizing and, cleansing and, doing all of that. That's
Nice.
part of my new year as well, just minimizing getting rid of just the junk in my life. So yeah, it looks like we're both doing that.
Yep, we've been purging a little bit. I'm pretty good at it. My partner is not. I like to call him a hoarder.
Mhm.
He likes to be surrounded by his stuff, so he's not purging as much. But I'm definitely looking forward to setting back up the new house, just a new space, new energy. It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too. I am too. It's going to force me to be in an uncomfortable, not the living space, but to be more social and just get rid of stuff. I'm not a hoarder, but I know that I've needed to purge. Like that's a good word for it. I know that I've needed to purge, not just in a material sense. I've needed to purge in a social way as well. And I think
Mm.
we all have. 2020 has been one of those years where we had to decide, what, these are people that need to go to our outer social circle now, or moved
Yes.
out of our social life completely. So I guess that's what 2021 is going to be, a year of spring cleaning.
Yes. Yeah, I think definitely 2020 has definitely kind of taught us what are you willing to risk your life for? Because you are risking your health and other people's health going out and doing certain things or seeing certain people. And so it's really been a year of prioritizing, especially for me. I know at least, it's a lot of debating on what is it worth? How much am I willing to risk to go see this person or do this thing? And it's really made me realize that there's not a lot that I would really risk for. And so it's really shown, which people are closest to you, the people willing to help out, people who are willing to honor your social bubble and your COVID bubble and stuff. So it's really been an eye-opening year. And so I'm taking a lot of that into 2021 as well, and kind of realizing which people have been good to kind of purge a little bit, and also learning which people have really been there. So it's been definitely a year where we learned a lot. And I think we all learned a lot about each other too this past year.
Yeah, speaking of that, yeah, we've learned which people in our lives have really share our values. You know, we thought that
Yes,
certain people shared our values, and then we're realizing they really don't. And it's a tough decision to have to make, to move people from our inner circle, you know, further out into a, you know, a different orbit. You know, it's a tough decision to make. And
it is. It
I,
is.
yeah, I've heard people talking about that. You know, they have the cognitive dissonance that's going on, and you know, and of course, this is people are putting it in the political arena, but it's not really about that. It's about your values, you know, who you are as a person, and realizing that some of the people you thought you were very, very close to, that they shared your values, and you're realizing they really don't see you. You know, they really don't see who you are as a person.
Yep. That's a very good way to put it.
Well, I don't have anything else today, Will. I'm just looking forward to next week. We're going to pick one or two of these topics, and we're going to move forward.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Should be
Well,
fun.
we both wish everybody a happy and safe new year, and we will see you next week.
This podcast is produced by Erin Alexander, hosted by Kennie Pullitt and Erin Alexander, and mixed and edited by William Lynch.